everybody. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of Afternoon Drive Home on ICE Radio. We're your source for news and entertainment. You can find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, as well as Abundance TV, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Okay, I've got some really good tips right here for the holidays. And that's whether you actually begin in Thanksgiving, which was just a couple of weeks ago, or if you are ready for Christmas. Those Christmas parties, all those fun things that are happening out there. I found this article through BuzzFeed.com, so you'll be able to download all of this as well. BuzzFeed.com. This is a good one right here. Sometimes your gravy can be just a little bit bland. You can add a few drops of soy sauce for the gravy. And you can make a gravy by using all-purpose flour, maybe a little bit of butter, some salt, and some chicken stock. Going ahead and add that, then put just a teaspoon is enough to give your gravy that, it's a subtle flavor, but just enough to make it even more delicious. So I'm going to try that on the next gravy that goes on top of the potatoes or whatever. Okay, now for cookies, this is a good idea right here. I've heard about this, but I just haven't done it. So this is for the best cookies. You can let your cookie dough rest in the fridge for at least 24 hours. The reason you want to do that says it might be tempting to bake the cookies ASAP, but trust us on this one. The longer you wait, some experts actually recommend up to 36 hours. The better they'll come out, both in terms of texture and in flavor. I can see that working. Okay, number 3, I think this is a good one too. Place fresh cranberries in your ice cube trays to add some festive colors to your holiday drinks. I can see that going over really well. Or maybe even, I'm going to step it up a little bit. We like sweet tea in this family. And sweet teas and colas and stuff like that. And even water. Why not get some lemon slices and put some lemon slices in there and some ice cubes as well? I think that would be a really good way. But I agree with the cranberries. Make it look really pretty too. You got those red cranberries going on. Okay, a quick transform a plain store-bought cheesecake into an eye-catching holiday dessert. So you're going to add to it. Step 1, buy a grocery store cheesecake, preferably from Albertville Foodland Plus. Step 2, top it with homemade whipped cream. That may sound intimidating, but you'll only need a few things. You'll need some heavy whipped cream, you'll need some powdered sugar, and some vanilla extract. So mix that up together. Step 3, decorate the top by crushing a few candy canes in a plastic bag and sprinkle the smashed pieces on top of the cream. Oh, that would look really pretty and make it look kind of homemade there as well. Okay, number 5, for a super flaky pie crust, replace some of the water in the recipe with a little bit of spirits. I'm not going to tell you which spirit it is, but you're going to cook it, so you're not going to, act like you shouldn't act. But anyway, it sounds weird, but it works. Now, the more water you use when baking a pie dough, the easier it will be to handle and to roll out. But if you want a little bit more moisture, that means the dough needs to be tougher once it's cooked. To solve this dilemma, Cooks Illustrated suggests replacing part of the water, just a tablespoon, okay, with some vodka. The alcohol will evaporate during baking, and you'll be left with a super flaky crust. And make sure it's all you use that vodka for, okay? Number 6, if you want a juicy turkey, don't forget to let it rest for at least 20 minutes after you take it out of the oven. I've done that before. Be in a hurry, but just allow a few extra times, and this is why they say this works. This seals in the juices, so don't start carving it too quickly, and there's no need to cover the turkey with a cloth. Doing it might actually make the skin soggy instead of crispy. So just let the turkey rest while it's uncovered. And I like to do that too, which is really easy to do too with ham. And by the way, add a little ham or add a little bit of pickle juice to your ham, any of your meats, turkeys, hams, if you're doing a beef roast, pork, any of those things. Add some pickle juice to the water if you're putting it in a crock pot. Turns out to be the best. And I'll promise you, with the turkey, the one we had here for Thanksgiving, you didn't even have to use a knife to carve it. That thing came apart. I mean, it just, it was so, so good. Okay, now make hot chocolate floaters. Wow, this is a great idea. Okay, make hot chocolate floaters by freezing a sheet pan of Cool Whip and then cutting out shapes with a cookie cutter. That's an awesome, awesome idea. All you have to do is spread a layer of whipped cream on a sheet pan covered with foil and pop it in the freezer overnight. Then use your favorite cookie cutters, and it'd be best to use the smaller ones, not the great big gigantic ones, but the smaller ones. And then you can use that to make Cool Whip floaters in your hot chocolate. What an awesome idea that is. I like that idea. Now again, you can find these items on BuzzFeed.com. Now, this is a good one too. You know, the house always has to smell good. You know, we got the winter, we've got the windows and everything closed up, you know, because it's been cold outside. Unless you live in Alabama where we have all 4 seasons in one day. That can happen. But the house needs to smell like Christmas, right? So you can make some stovetop potpourri. So let me tell you how to do this. All you need to do is get a big pan, okay? Simmer a few pieces like cinnamon sticks, citrus slices into a pot of water and let the holiday smell take over your house. You can also use a slow cooker for this if you want to save some precious stovetop space. And yeah, that's the time of the year, absolutely. I have one of those little small crock pots that I found at Shepherd's Cove thrift shop. It's a small one, paid $3 for it. And that's the perfect thing to make the potpourri in. It smells so good. And you know, something else you can get also, if you have rosemary, whatever time of the year it is, rosemary smells really good when you put a little bit of maybe essential oil, but the real rosemary, the herbs from your herb garden. That's a great thing to do. Okay, this is something you can do. Turn waffle cones into edible candy Christmas trees. Wow, I can see where that would work. The best part is they have the cookie already baked inside. So this is what you'll do. You'll get your get the waffle cones, and then you'll get some maybe chocolate, you know, the chocolate bark. You can get it the white or the chocolate or the dark chocolate bark, and go ahead and melt it. I melt mine in the microwave. It's less of a mess. I don't have to worry about scorching it. So what I do, I'll go ahead and get it and, you know, break it up into pieces and put it in a glass. It's like a big, huge glass container. You know, it's microwave safe. And then I'll go ahead and put that Christmas bark in there. Do this in 30-second intervals though. Now the first minute, go ahead and put it in a minute, okay? After that, try to stir it if you can, because microwaves are different. So what I like to do with mine is every 30 seconds, I'll turn that microwave on and put that chocolate or white chocolate into the microwave, and then until you can stir it really good. So get the pine cones, and you'll just dip the pine cone. You can do the whole thing if you want to, and put it in there. And then before it starts actually, you know, hardening up, like, you know, the bark will do. By the way, you can get the store-bought bark at Albertville Foodland Plus. You can put M&Ms on it. You can put little sprinkles, like sugar sprinkles on it. And again, it's already got the cookie baked inside. Okay, you want to make legs but can't be bothered with all the grating. Use frozen tater tots or hash browns as a shortcut. See how you do that. So they might not turn out as crispy as the real deal, but they're still pretty good, and you won't have to go through any potato grating. Wow, what an idea that is. So that's cool. Okay, really cool. Okay, super cool. All right, now make easy holiday treats like a snowman chocolate bark decorated with white candy melts, pretzel sticks, and candy corn. Yeah, all these things are so easy to do. Okay, and again, that's going to be your tree bark. And any of the store brands work just as good as the national brand. Okay, this is a fun, super fun afternoon activity for the whole family with a delicious treat at the end. So what you'll do is melt down the chocolate bark and put it in a pan like a cookie sheet. And it needs to be one that's got maybe about a 1/2-inch lip around the sides of it so it doesn't fall. I mean, you can use anything, but that just makes it a lot easier. And then before it hardens, you want to get some of the candy, the white candy melts, and put 3. And then you'll get your pretzel sticks and the candy corn and put that on top as well. And yeah, that'd be really cute. Put little stars. I like it snowing outside. That's a super fun activity. Okay, for the best mashed potatoes of your life, you can follow this Tyler Florence's tip and boil the potatoes directly in the pot of heavy cream. I bet that would be awesome. Okay, so they've tried several methods to make the best mashed potatoes, and Tyler Florence's wildcard tip: boiling the potatoes in heavy cream yields some serious, amazing results. I bet they're super tender that way as well. So this is what it looks like it's done. So he has the potatoes. You can peel them if you want to do that, whatever your liking is. And I like to cut mine at least up in quarters, especially if I'm in a hurry, and that way they don't have to cook as long. So you'll put the heavy cream with water, okay? Heavy cream with water, about half and half. And then boil the potatoes and get some serious looking potatoes there, mashed potatoes. Okay, run canned pumpkin puree through your food processor for a filling that's even smoother and silkier than usual. So instead of just doing it with a spoon, puree it in the food processor. I use my food processor for almost everything. It's been a lifesaver for me throughout the years and get stuff done a lot quicker. Okay, for sure, this is an extra step, but if you want to make your pumpkin pie game to new levels, now this also works with sweet potatoes, like sweet potato pie. And this is the trick for you. Now, for a much quicker cooking time, ask your butcher to spatchcock your turkey. Let's see what that is. Okay, so spatchcocking or butterflying the turkey, or removing its backbone and flattening it, will lead to a more uniform and much quicker roast. I can see that happening. The technique can be a bit tricky, but if you're not feeling up to it, you can always ask your butcher to do it for you. So what they've done is they've cut the bird in half, right where the breast part is. And so they've taken that bone out and they've kind of made a butterfly with it. That's a great idea. Okay, and you can find this article on BuzzFeed.com. That's BuzzFeed.com. I'm paying close attention to what time it is. Okay, use 2 types of chocolate for extra indulgent chocolate chip cookies. If it's chocolate, I'm all over it. Okay, so to up the chocolate flavor to the max, use 2 types of chocolate. Use 55% and 72%, and chop the chocolate bars instead of using chocolate chips. But sometimes it's a little bit less quality. That makes good sense. Okay, mixing cream soda and Fireball will give you the perfect festive holiday cocktail. It said it tastes a little bit like cinnamon rolls, but that's all that matters to the author. Okay, oh, this is a great idea. Use green food coloring to turn Rice Krispie treats into a fun Christmas tree. So what they've done is they've made the Rice Krispie treats, and then they've cut it in squares, and then they've kind of made a triangle, the Christmas tree, and put some M&Ms and stuff with it to make it look like a Christmas tree. I'll kind of show you right here if you can kind of get a good idea of what that looks like. That's just not Rice Krispie treats. And, you know, that's something that's easy to make too. And let me know whether you like to make your Rice Krispie treats with marshmallows or if you use the sugar syrup method. I use the sugar syrup method. I think it turns out a little bit better that way. And I also make the sugar syrup in my microwave. You don't have to worry about scorching, and it's also a lot easier to clean up. Oh, I think this is a grand idea. Number 18, it says right here to use squeeze bottles to make cookie decorating with icing easier. So it looks like something you would find in a restaurant, you know, like ketchup and mustard and that kind of thing. So what they've done to control the mess and to put a little bit more uniform artwork, they've put the icing, now it needs to be a little bit runny, okay? They've put the icing in the squeeze bottle, but let me tell you what I've done. I don't make the icing runny. What I'll do is I'll put it in the microwave just for about 30 seconds, and it kind of makes it a little bit runny, and then I'll put it in that bottle, and I can show you what I'm talking about in the little squeeze bottle. And then what you'll be able to do is squeeze it out with perfection. You could do like Merry Christmas, put that on a cookie, or even on a cake, do it that way. And then when it hits that icing, it's going to harden a little bit, so it's not going to be real runny, and it's going to be just the perfect texture. Okay, I'm looking, it looks like we've got to go into a commercial break. We'll be right back in just a few minutes, so y'all hang in there, okay? The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There's also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors, and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018. Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late-model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales look forward to serving you. And you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Fort Payne and Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by the locations in Fort Payne and Gadsden. We sincerely look forward to serving you. We're about to make your life just a little bit easier. Join Tony and April at Tony's Pizza and Subs in Center and Cedar Bluff, Alabama. We're cooking up some hot and delicious pizzas, and we'd like to bake one for you. We are home-owned, not a chain, and our pizzas are fresh, homemade with our dough made fresh daily. We have a full menu including fresh, never frozen wings, salad bars, suds sandwiches, and much more. In Center, we have a private dining area for birthday parties, club meetings, and other events. We'll be waiting for you at 1820 East Bypass in Center, and in Cedar Bluff, 3812 Alabama Highway 9. For your convenience, you can call in your order at our Center location, 256-92 Pizza, or Cedar Bluff, 256-557-8651. And we enjoy making your life easier. Patterson's Music and Jewelry is a full-line music store offering guitar repair, setup and sound installation equipment, as well as instrument rentals and new and used guitars and amps. We offer jewelry at affordable prices and jewelry repair, watch batteries and link removal, and we offer personalized jewelry such as fingerprint, mother's rings, and pendants. Shop in historic downtown Fort Payne on Galt Avenue. Hours are 9 to 5 Monday through Friday and 9 to 2 on Saturday. Call 256-845-4115. That's 256-845-4115. And thank you for trusting Patterson's Music and Jewelry. Good afternoon. We are back. My name is Donna Thiesel, and I'm your host of Afternoon Drive Home on IC Radio. We are your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, as well as Abundant TV, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. We've been talking about great holiday tips right here to make your life a lot easier and plus better. So this is something I found also on this particular website, and is the Perfect Roast Turkey 101 using cheesecloth. would never thought about this. I grew up watching Julia Child. And so I learned a lot of tips and techniques from her, but this one is super, super good. And I think I remember seeing this episode a long time ago when I would watch Julia Child with my grandmother. So in her recipe for the perfect roasted turkey, it's whatever pound turkey you want it to be. Right here, she's using a 20-pound bird and stuffed with her classic stuffing. But before it goes into the oven, she covers the turkey with 4 layers of cheesecloth. Now this has been soaked in butter, and also you can use, if you wanted to use maybe some dill pickle juice, you can do that. That goes along with it well, and it makes it really, really tender. So this is what she does. The reason she does this is the cheesecloth keeps the bird moist and prevents it from getting too dark too quickly. It's removed about an hour before the end of roasting to allow time for the turkey to brown. So I'm going to try that, and I'm going to let you know how that turns out. I would think anything like maybe even a hen, chicken, whatever you wanted to use would be good with that too. But that's Turkey 101, and it makes a really, really moist bird. Boy, I loved Martha Stewart and also Julia Child. I think those two right there have been just absolutely awesome in our world, of cooking. Now, if you're tired of just plain old lattice tops where you just cut a little thing right there and put it on top of the pie, there's something else you can do to make it really pretty. So you can go ahead and cut and make it kind of like a spiral pie crust on top. So what you can do is go ahead and cut your little lines, maybe about 1 inch, half an inch, something like that, and then you'll twist it. So you'll twist that and put that around the pie, and I'll show you what it looks like. Isn't that a beautiful pie? And so when they cut the strips, they went on ahead and twisted it and just put it around the pie as it was being twisted. And that is pretty. I think that's gorgeous. Okay, and let's see. Let's find another one right here. Okay, put your slow cooker to use by making hot chocolate for the whole family. I love the slow cooker. And I think that's a really good thing. So just put all the ingredients in there and just let it cook. And like when your company comes over, or you're just doing it for like Christmas Eve, we just do special stuff for Christmas Eve just with our family. And just put it on the instant. You can do it in an Instant Pot too, by the way. And it just makes some really, really pretty ones. Okay, now I'm going to tell you something else you can do. All you need is dark chocolate chips, or you can go with the almond bark, chocolate almond bark, or maybe just the white bark and aluminum foil. Or you can use, I would think you can probably also use the wax paper to make this happen. So what you'll do is melt the chocolate bark, and I'm going to show you a picture of this in just a few seconds. Melt the chocolate bark, and then kind of make little designs. You can do little like stars, or you can do like little snowflakes, or you can do little chocolate Christmas trees. And I think this turns out great. Let it harden, and look at what you've got. Look at that Christmas tree. Isn't that pretty? And that was just made with the almond bark. So I think that's another grand idea. Okay, now we're going to talk about a turkey again. For a super brown and crispy turkey, spread butter under the skin of the bird before you're roasting it. Using your fingers or maybe even a rubber spatula to release the skin from the breast, and then spread some herb butter underneath it. I like to use rosemary, or any herb will work. And this will keep the meat moist and the skin crispy. It's gonna, and I'm telling you, you won't even have to carve the turkey if you'll do stuff like this. It turns out great. I like to use browning bags. First of all, less mess up in the kitchen. You won't have to worry about anything running all over your oven or anything like that. And those browning bags do make it super, super, super moist. Now this is a good idea right here. Make little turkey-shaped sweet treats with something like an Oreo cookie, candy, crisp, and pretzels. And that makes a little turkey. Kids can get involved on doing that. Kids love being in the kitchen with you, and and just having fun. Take advantage of that. Okay, this says if you get macaroni and cheese, adding a spoonful of mustard to your macaroni and cheese will balance out its flavors, cut out the richness, and make it even tastier. We're going to have to try that. I'll let you guys know how that works. Okay, let's see, right here, added flavor. Okay, for added flavor, brown the butter you use in your chocolate chip cookies. You'll need to do that in probably in a skillet, iron skillet. Okay, this will add a rich nutty flavor to brown the butter melted in the saucepan and swirl it until it bubbles. Be really careful though if you are using, a saucepan might be better. If you're using a iron skillet, I can see where it could brown like too fast and maybe even burn. But after a few minutes of bubbling, the butter will quiet down and the white milk solids will sink to the bottom of the pot. This means the butter's ready. That's how you can also make caramel. So take it off the heat right away so it doesn't burn. And the timing is really, really what it's all about. Okay, let's see what time. Oh, we still got some time. Okay, number 31 right here is bake your desserts the day before the big meal. Yeah, your sweet potato pie, your pumpkin pie, your pecan pie, all those things need to be done the night before, and then it's less stress. Otherwise, you're going to be running around like crazy trying to get all this stuff done. Make your own cranberry sauce. Recommends, this is Jamie Oliver, and I like to watch his cooking shows too. He's been around a while. He's really good. He has those really quick 30-minute meals, like an entire meal in 30 minutes. He recommends adding apples, sugar, and cinnamon to the cranberries for extra yumminess. Yeah, I can see where that would be really good. Okay, now, either toast your bread in the oven or let it set overnight before you use it to make stuffing. I'll tell you what I do when a loaf of bread, and this is really good with that Arnold bread when it already has maybe some of the little nuts and stuff in it. So instead of throwing that away when it starts getting just a little bit, you know, it's a little bit dried out, throw it in the freezer and save that bread. I even save my cornbread that way. That way I don't have to make, like when somebody comes over to the house and they say, I'd like some of your dressing, because I put walnuts in mine. That's really good. And so it's already practically done. I mean, you have the cornbread already there and also the dry bread. The dry bread makes it the best. If you don't use dry bread, maybe just a little bit dried out, the bread may fall apart and the stuffing will turn out kind of mushy. So tear the bread into pieces. Don't cut it with a knife. Tearing it is easier and it will make for better texture as well. Leave it out to dry for at least 6 hours or so. If you're lacking time, you can also pop it in the oven at a 325 oven for 20 to 30 minutes. And I can see where that would make really good. Okay, we're getting low on time here, so you can make your own peppermint candy cane dust to add it to your holiday desserts and to your coffee, tea, whatever. All you need is a food processor and a magic bullet. A magic bullet. Once it's crushed, you can use peppermint powder in your hot chocolate, add it to vanilla icing, even use it on top of ice cream. So let's say you go to Albertville Foodland Plus. They put a lot of stuff on sale all the time. They'll put it in a cart. It'll be good. It's just that somebody may have crushed the candy canes or whatever, and they've marked it down to a ridiculous low price. Go on ahead and buy that, because then you can put it in the food processor and use it for a hack, right? Okay, now here is a really good hack, and I've got to hurry, to prevent your cookies from going stale. What you need to do is place a slice of white bread in your cookie jar, and it keeps your cookies from going stale. And also, if you like them soft, that's the key to it right there. And so this is a really good article. Again, I found it on BuzzFeed.com, BuzzFeed.com. Now, if you have some awesome hacks, I'd like for you to let me know about that. Send an email to Donna at afternoondrivehome.com, Donna at afternoondrivehome.com. The next show, I'm going to show you how, if you found stone, maybe on a trip or something, I'm going to show you how to do some wire wrapping, and it will be so easy peasy. You'll be doing this all the time for Christmas gifts, birthday gifts, or whatever. Thank you so much for watching Afternoon Drive Home on IC Radio. We're your source for entertainment and for fun, too, and hacks and how to do fun stuff. Thank you again so much for watching. You are awesome. Go to the website, icradio.media.